Alright. Video coming for DCI Jams, but anybody else who needs to listen to it. DCI Jams, I just watched part of your video on Facebook. I've been busy. I'm getting ready to roll out of here. I'm in Van Horn, Texas. And I got to go to Houston. So, I deliver in Houston. I'm trying to make a quick video, but this also is for anybody. I'm going to call it midlife crisis, okay? When I came into this, I was in my midlife crisis. I actually looked at trucking in my late 20s, excuse me. And a friend of mine, whose father was a truck driver, he talked me out of it. Oh, girl, you know, you got to lift stuff off the back of the truck. It ain't for you, yada, 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 yada. Later on, it's ironic because he went into trucking, and then he tells me, you know, it's probably a very good feel for you because that's you, girl. It's you, it's you. I was working at Charles Schwab when I really started getting interested because while I made good money there, I hated my job. I just did. I was doing tech support for them, and I really hated my job because I was doing end user tech support, not internal. And then I moved into another department. It was okay, but I kind of got bored, and there's some other stuff. But yeah. I was in my 40s when I came into this, and that's usually when you go through your midlife crisis. Trucking gets a lot of people who are going through something, either financial or divorces, because it's a very isolated, peaceful job. Now, I believe you said you're looking at Werner on one of either your video or a message to me. I've been just doing a lot of stuff on the fly. So for those of you reaching out to me, forgive me because I'm doing stuff on the fly right now. I got a 34-hour reset coming up because I only got 22 hours coming up on my clock after I deliver this load. And I'm working with my driver manager to get something coming back to Oklahoma so they can fill this little hole, that hole I showed you in the floor. I've just stuffed some paper towel in there, but I can smell the regen when it comes up. It'll fill this whole truck up. So if that's happening, it's probably also bringing exhaust fumes in, which is carbon monoxide poisoning. And I'm like, I fill the hole as best I can, but I want that filled. I also have an issue with critters, so I don't want no critters in there. Anyway, back to what my subject was. I got to get out of here. I got to stop at Walmart. I need some washer fluid. And anyway, so DCI Jams, what I'm going to tell you is, so what? There's a lot of worse effing things you could do in a midlife crisis than to try a different career. You ain't dead. Try a different career. Also, in trucking, when I first started researching it, that's one of the big things. They mentioned that most trucking companies like older people. They don't want the young people because the young people, they're not as thorough. They don't have work ethic. They don't stick with stuff. And you may or may not like it. I'm going to be honest. Some people get out here in trucking and you think one thing and it's a whole nother. You either like it or you don't. And the sad part is, I like the adventure of it. I think it may fit you based on just me watching your channel and how you used to go do construction at sites and do stuff like that. And you would just go with your motorcycle or whatever and camp out in your truck or whatever and actually work on people's homes. That's kind of trucking in its own sense. This is that's why I call them steel cowboys. Because it's a lifestyle on the road. The thing is, we're not sleeping in the elements. We're sleeping inside the truck. I mean, you do have people that bust out their little grill, and they'll grill on the side of their truck. I might get one. And I think we get the ones with the charcoal, where you can just heat them up and put them out there. And yeah, I might do that. But there's a lot of what's the word I want to use? There's a lot of older people that come in here. I mean, I met a guy who was taking a backing class with me who was in his 70s. So this, as long as you can get, in and out the truck, drive it. If you do regen, if you do reefer, you hardly have to climb in the back. And then also, if you don't have to sweep out the back, get yourself a blower. Blow the back out. That's one of the best things they did is a leaf blower. You want a leaf blower that you can plug in your truck and just blow the truck out. But oftentimes you can do this job. They like people who are what's the word I want to use? Oh, he's going to Brookdale. I'm sorry, man. It's Brookdale's where I'm filling up my stuff. Oh, wow, flatbed. He got the van on there. He got some other stuff on there. Um, but you can do this job as long as you're physically in shape to do it. I mean, that's honesty. If you're physically in shape to do this job, you're fine. And you see, I'm not probably in the best shape. I need to lose weight. And now that I have the fractured ankle, I'm a little stiff sometimes, but I'm still doing the job. So as long as you can do the job, you're fine. What I am going to say to you, DCI Jams, is do me a favor and hit me up on truckerdoll@gmail.com. Send me a message in the title. Put DCI Jams, because if I don't know who you are, I don't check it. But put DCI Jams and just hit me up. I'm going to send you my headhunter, because I think you mentioned Werner, and I did do Werner was my choice, my first choice out of trucking school. You should have several choices, but I'd rather you talk to my headhunter, because she does place new drivers. So she does place you. And I think there's better companies, like I think CFI will take new drivers. And I'm going to tell you, your experience with CFI is going to be a hell of a lot better than your experience with Werner, in my humble opinion. In my humble opinion. And if you go with my headhunter, she's a former CFI fleet manager, so she could at least, and I'm not saying that's the company, you might get an entirely different company, but you're going to have a much better to hell experience than Werner. Werner, man, I'll tell you some stuff. What I'll do, when you email me, I'll private a video and tell you my experience with Werner. And let me specify this. All starter companies have issues, most of them. CFI is not a starter company. That's one of the reasons why I'm referring. They are mainly an experienced driver company, and they do take the cream of the crop when it comes to drivers. So make sure you're doing very well when you're testing, and you can do the CRST. You can do I think did you already pass your drivers? Did you already pass? I think you passed your CDL test. But if you do very well, don't be late. Show up on time. Try to get an attendance record from your school that you were there all the time and on time. Get all that in writing. Your little diploma and whatever you get for the trucking school, get all that in writing. And then when you go to apply, send that over. They take, yeah. So, yeah, hit me up, because she may recommend them or some others. But Werner is, and I ain't going to say they bad. It's just, it's a starter company. You're going to deal with some stuff. Whereas CFI is something that could turn into a longer term situation for as long as you want to drive. And then once you have your 2 years in, depending on how things go here, once you have your 2 years in, then I'm going to recommend here. Anyway, guys, be blessed. I'm getting ready to head out of here in about, I'm heading out of here now. Peace.